Welcome back, traders. How are we doing today? We have an absolute banger for you guys in store, going over GameStop and AMC. GameStop earnings on the horizon. Nobody's even talking about it, right? And then we'll go over the charts as well. But first, I just want to say thank you guys for 974 subscribers. That is insane in like 4 months. So God bless each and every single one of you guys. Slap the subscribe button if you're new, and let's get straight into it, guys. GameStop is scheduled to report its Q3 fiscal year earnings December 3rd after market close. The date is confirmed across multiple financial sources. So what is expected? Conference call, analyst expectations, and recent context. So analyst expectations show approximately 0.02, ranging from not profitable and then extremely profitable, right? But what I expect GameStop to continue to do what profitable companies do, as Ryan Cohen literally has taken this zombie stock from the dirt, from the freaking grave, and taken it to one of the most cash heavy and profitable small cap stocks in the entire market. As you can see, they've continued. And if I go into Webull, I'm pretty sure it even has it. If I go to quick facts, Webull, financials, cash flow, balance sheet. I mean, gives you the balance sheet in billions, but I don't want that. I want the income statement, because the income statement's absolutely bonkers when you look at the net income coming in, as well as the year over year. The year over year, 628, 661, 1,039. These are all year over year net improvements. And to me, that's just absolutely bonkers that we're still at $19, breaking out of exactly what we talked about you doing, guys. Breaking out of this nasty, disgusting, falling wedge that you've been trading in since probably, I would say, September, right? I mean, you found the bottom to the top, make it drop, and then you bounce out of it. And that's what you're in the works of doing. We talked about how close these two lips, how close these things were to kissing, and you finally got into the daily MACD. You're getting that cross of the daily MACD divergence, which signals a buy and potential continuation here up to the golden trend and potentially your previous uptrend that you found since August. You bounced on August 6th. You found support on it then in April. You then found support on it in June, August again, July, September, right? And you continued all the way until recently when you dropped it. And you haven't been able to retest it properly, right? So what I'm expecting here is this break of the falling wedge. You did get the green MACD cross like we were talking about, and then continuation here into the 50-day EMA. Now, I do expect a little bit of hesitancy here, as this is your death cross, right? You were going to get the golden cross, failed, it's a death cross. Your first test of this, as you can see here, was absolutely abysmal. Now, your second test is what I find interesting, because back when you did it back here, right, I would, although you're not really testing it, qualify this as your test. Got your second test, rejection, and then you blast above it. You got your first test. I expect that second test hesitancy, and then you blast above it. Based off of the previous trading of this stock, that's just what I'm seeing in the short term here. So we also talked about on GameStop how this 4-hour RSI wedge, typically these they don't do nothing, guys. When you see these 4-hour RSI falling wedges, they typically break up. And when you break the RSI band, that's when price gets actually volatile. You saw here, you broke it on the 21st Friday. That was your bottom. You saw a 1.7 and then a 2.78% increase on the stock. You now have your daily Bollinger Bands squeezing and constricting. And I would anticipate if you are able to get above this mid band that you rejected here, you should see these bands begin to expand and price become a little more volatile. And that's what we're looking for as you go into the retest of this uptrend that has absolutely betrayed you. I mean, support, and break, right? And once you broke it, you really broke it. I mean, what is this move down? Dump 18% in like 18 days. You're now looking for that retest swing higher. I would expect a rejection, potentially into another lower low. Now, if that happens, guys, fear not, because the broader falling wedge is here. And I'm just looking for what could potentially be the macro picture on this GameStop move, right? What's the formation playing out here? Because you had this bull channel that you broke beneath, but you also have this falling wedge establishing with 1, 2, 3 touches now. You're looking for your 4th touch. And wow, how convenient that you would get that technically confluent rejection and touch December 22nd. Right, so if maybe you see this stall out and then earnings pump like you always do, right? Always see that earnings pump to see that touch of the falling wedge and then this trading sideways, just like you got here. As painful as it would be, this is what a lot of these meme cap stocks do is you find that coiling before you spring, right? So out here, coiling, spring. Even though this was a pretty lackluster spring, you did end up moving 25%. So this could totally not be a falling wedge, but that is what I'm looking at it to potentially be. If you do end up trading below alongside this falling support, what I would expect is some kind of, as you make that lower low in price, some kind of higher low in the RSI. And what that does essentially for all the new traders, everyone who's learning the RSI, is that creates a touch of bullish divergence. These can be long signals or potential signals that the bears are losing strength, losing buying powder or selling powder, right? And there's signs of inevitable trend exhaustion. I don't see that yet. But what I do see is you came all the way down, guys. You came all the way down to extremely oversold territory on GameStop for the first time since, I think it was 2023, guys. For the first time since August of 2023, when you saw a pretty nice size launch off of this spring up 20%. So what I'm anticipating is here, that exact thing, right? This break of the falling wedge, that 20% move, and then a rejection. If you see continuation, hallelujah, amazing, right? Great. But if you don't, watch for this long-term falling wedge. And if you break it, guys, if you get down here, you're loading the boat. I'm loading the boat, not financial advice. But that would be such an amazing opportunity. What else we got? Weekly time frame. Let's get rid of these Bollinger Bands. They are very much an eyesore on the weekly. On the weekly time frame, it kind of just emphasizes so much more this bullish engulfing candle as you've engulfed not just the first, and we're going to have to watch for a potential, I forget the freaking name, but there is a name of a candlestick pattern that engulfs the previous two. That would be your most bullish scenario in GameStop going into next week's earnings. I know it sounds crazy, but the earnings being on the 3rd, guys, falls next week. I mean, that's just absurd. So if you see Wednesday, right? Maybe we close Friday up here at 22 or 21.97. What is this wick? All you have to do is close above 21.81, and you have one of the most bullish reversal signals on this stock in terms of a candlestick pattern. And I'm trying to think of the last time you even got that candlestick pattern, like on the weekly time frame, guys. You didn't do it here. Didn't do it here. When's that? You did it here. So this is a good example, right? You engulf the previous 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candlesticks. And these are weeks, right? So you engulfed, actually you did it here. This is a freaking fantastic example of what could be possible if you see that close above the previous two. This candlestick up 14%, engulfed 2 weeks of price action, and then you saw that bullish continuation. So if you're looking for a macro reversal here, that would be your bet. You got to close above 2181. But I'm not banking on it. I think the next 2 days, true trading days after, before and after Thanksgiving, are going to be relatively slow. Typically, they're very low volume, as you see a lot of the big wigs, the institutions on vacation already. So let's cover AMC now that we talked about GameStop. And then we'll get into IWM. AMC, our girl Amy. Let's freaking go. So AMC's doing something super, super interesting here. As you can see, you are closing the week green for the first time. Stay with me. For the first time in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, guys. If you can close this week green for the first time in 7 weeks. For the first time in forever. And hopefully close towards the top of the candlestick, you would have done something that is contingent with bullish divergence on the weekly, right? Closing this week green not only confirms for me this weekly bounce, but it confirms the 1, 2, 3, your third touch of weekly bullish divergence, guys, for the first time since back here. That would be significant for looking at potential long signals on the stock, as last time you had it back here, right? 1, 2, 3 touches of bullish divergence before you saw your insane squeeze higher. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but when you're looking for these similarities in the stock's history, it's almost negligent to ignore the fact that you're playing pretty much the exact same formation as back here. And I'm not a fractal guy, but this looks really good, guys, for finding a bottom before reversing. Now, what I'm going to hope for and look for is a close above this falling wedge formation. If you can get that, guys, you may have your fake out breakdown into your reversion. And what's going to confirm that for me is looking at it on Webull. Not only do you have, if I adjust this, right, I could totally adjust this. Not that. Go back. So I'm looking at this a couple different ways. You have a falling wedge here that you're holding. You also have the symmetrical triangle that you broke down from. So what's going to be important here is not only that you hold this level. This is a trend line support that you dipped below and regained as support. But what's going to be important here as an AMC investor is that you hold and you break back above, right? This retest of the symmetrical triangle. You want to just probably blast through, retest, and then go. That's your best case scenario on AMC right now. If you see something that is contingent with your rejection here, you're looking at a lower low, right? Because then you're confirming your symmetrical triangle. You're confirming your bearish breakdown and a rejection of the weekly 9 EMA. That would be very negative, guys. And that would, for me, spell more downside. But if you are able to do what you're doing on the daily already, right? You closed above your 9-day EMA, guys. This is a good look on AMC. It is. As you have, very similarly to GameStop, the daily or the daily MACD curling up about to kiss. You want it to give that breath of life back to the stock to test this 250 level. And if you can break back above the 250, hopefully that 50-day EMA doesn't smack you down. It looks ferocious right now. But if you're able to break back above this, guys, it'll look really good for AMC. And I think that would spell your bottom, in my opinion. that compared with the weekly divergence, your really, really good wicked revenue. Like really, really impressive, actually, wicked revenue. I would anticipate some kind of inverse head and shoulders like that, right? Reject the 50, depending on where you hit it. You have the shoulder, head, right shoulder, bam, right? And that would get you neckline, breakout, pretty much directly in line with the 200-day EMA. So I really like that look for AMC. We'll continue tracking it, but for now, you just have to get that green cross in the daily MACD, and you have to hold the 9-day EMA on the daily. All these things are going to be pivotal. Holy Toledo. NEO up 3% in after hours. That is a great look. Congrats. Above 560. It's a beautiful thing. Besides for that, guys, AMC still red on the weekly, but beginning to get that curl up, and you want to see that curl back to the green. AMC MACD on the quarterly, though. Look at how close you are. You're like that. You're like that, guys. If you get that cross on the quarterly MACD, I would assume, if history is your friend, right? This was your first technical. You had one on IPO. Whoop-de-doo. You went from... You went up 88%. Whoop-de-doo. You then absolutely capitulated. You then got one off of your 3 touches of bullish weekly divergence on the RSI. History repeats and rhymes. Doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme. You got a MACD cross on the quarterly time frame. You ran 4,000%. Now, it does not repeat, but it does rhyme. What if you get that run all the way up to $43? U-shaped accumulation. Possible. Probable, maybe not, but possible. And I like that. So that's my DD on AMC, GameStop, and I almost forgot IWM. I can't forget IWM, guys. Gotta keep you guys in the loop. IWM, slap the subscribe button if you guys are finding value or enjoying this genuinely. You had your falling broadening wedge. You now have a 3 white soldiers candlestick pattern. 3 white soldiers candlestick pattern. Typically, that is a bullish bottoming signal in which you see 1, 2, 3, and then continuation. Now, what are you seeing on IWM? You're seeing 1, 2, 3 alongside with a slice of the RSI through the 50 line. I think you have a shot at the all-time highs here. And that should bring up and lift up NEO, AMC, and GameStop along with it. Now, what I'm watching alongside of that is the same thing you're looking for on AMC and GameStop, right? That candle, that one candlestick to engulf the previous 2. So the next 2 trading days are going to be huge, guys. Huge. IWM. Come on. Last thing, and then I'll leave you guys alone. You are seeing on IWM the volume increase as you get this breakout and the 9-day EMA about to cross above the 50. That should catapult you guys, as that's the first time that would happen since back here. And you saw a massive gap up on the index of 4%. That almost never happens, guys. So that's going to be huge. If you're able to see that breakout, you're going to catch everyone off guard while everyone is screaming from the hills. We remained bullish with our sentiment that this thing is, I mean, you're consolidating on your all-time high. This is a bullish look, guys. So when in doubt, continue to zoom out and forget the naysayers, forget the people, forget the herd, follow your conviction. Grow your mind and your portfolio, guys. God bless to each and every single one of you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Subscribe.